a lot of the archiving vendors that were out there started in the 2003 days when blob
Or earlier.
offloading
Yeah.
was not even a thought.
Right.
Whereas,
Well, it was a thought, but Microsoft obviously didn't see a need for it. There wasn't a need for a supported mechanism to do it, so it was left to, creative ISVs to go out there and build something.
right. So through legacy, they knew that there was a problem they wanted to address, being that blob in the database.
Yep.
And they did what they had to do
To make that work.
to make that work.
Okay.
But now they're stuck with
An architecture that's
legacy methodologies that don't work.
well, and it's kind of hard to take EBS or RBS, which are active, blob offloading capabilities, and merge them with a passive,
Right.
archiving capability. Right, I've got an agent that is only acting on that content at a later date. Right, so I'm going to have to create some mechanism to handle that initial offload and then kind of have it flow into my existing archiving
So they're
architecture.
hampered by their legacy on which they exist anyway. So,
Well, I guess if you look at it strictly from if I start with an archiving, from an archiving standpoint, I'm either having to back up from that and figure out how I'm going to handle that initial offload of the blob and effectively re-architect my solution, or I'm going to have to come up with some kind of kludge, right? I'm still going to let the thing get into the database. I'm going to come rip it out, but instead of putting my little stub there, I'm going to synthesize an EBS or RBS placeholder and throw that in the database.
Right.
The problem with that is the only way to do that is to write directly to the database, which
that's a no-no.
is typically a no-no.
And that